Hi Stampers, welcome. I'm Nancy Novak from StampandShout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is day 3 of my Merry and Bright tutorial. So the Merry and Bright bundle features this fun stamp set with a lot of Christmas light type images and the fun dies. So we've already made 2 cards, so you can always go back and watch the replay, but let me show you today's card. It's a fun fold. It just opens like that. But isn't this fun on the front? That's what's so cool about these little sentiments on here, is you can mix and match them to create any kind of message that you would like. And it's so easy. You just stamp them and that's the image that you get. So it's really quite easy. So this paper is part of this set, and it's also called Merry and Bright, and it really has some great images. I showed it to you a little bit yesterday. I'll bring it in. This is the piece we're using today, and we're also using the fa la la la. So this is fun. It's got some Christmas, but it also has just celebration type colors and designs that you can use all year round. So it's really a nice set of designer series paper. So let me bring in today's supplies. And by the way, this is one of the cards. Yesterday's and today's card and tomorrow's card are part of my stamp and craft kits. So whenever you place a $40 order at my online store and you use the host code between now and Saturday, I will send you the stamp and craft kits. So basically the kit includes everything that you need to make the card. And it is based on the Merry and Bright bundle. So let's see, what do we have here? We have a piece of white cardstock that I scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. And then we have a piece inside of Poppy Parade, and you'll notice that I also cut out of that one piece that we'll be using for the front of our card. Then I have an inside stamping piece of white. Then I have some more Poppy Parade pieces and some of that Merry and Bright Designer Series paper. I have a couple of scraps that we're going to stamp our sentiment on, and a little tiny piece of crumb cake, and I'll show you what that's for, and a piece of gold foil. So let's go ahead and score this. So you score it normally, like you would any card. You score it right, or you fold it right in half. And then we're going to fold back on the other score line. And that's how we create the card base. I'm going to go ahead and do the inside first. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And for the inside sentiment, I'm using Poppy Parade. And the sentiment is, "Oh, what fun." And I'm going to make sure that I stamp this right in the middle. So let me show you our card. So when it opens, this little banner is going to cover up the inside sentiment. So I don't want to stamp too high or too low. So I just stamped right in the middle. I'm going to glue this piece to our inside Poppy Parade piece. Now I'm going to glue that to the inside of our card. And I have a little tiny strip of that Designer Series paper that I'm going to glue on the inside of our card. Okay, so let's glue some more pieces together. I'm going to glue that pretty Designer Series paper to the Poppy Red piece. And I'm going to glue that to the front of our card. So there's the front of our card. It opens like that. So I'm just going to glue that right on the front. And you'll notice when you have it all glued together that the front Poppy Parade matches the inside, and that the Designer Series paper matches the white. It all lines up. Okay, let's work on this little banner for a moment. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to cut up about 3/8 of an inch right there. Now I'm going to go from the corner to that cut mark and create a little banner. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this piece. Just like that. Before I glue these together, I'm just going to wait, because I'm going to line them up a little bit closer to where I want them to be. So I'm just going to wait till we're a little bit further along in our card. I'm going to go ahead and glue this white piece to this pretty scalloped piece. I think I forgot to mention that this is from the Contoured Scallop die cut set. But don't worry about the sizes or the measurements or the supplies I use, because I do have a project sheet for all my cards, and it's on my blog, stampindshout.blogspot.com, or you can scroll down to the description below and you'll see the words project sheet. It'll take you right over to my blog, where I'll have a great big picture of today's card, and I'll have all the measurements, I'll have all the supplies and shopping links, so you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to write it down now. We'll take care of that in a little while when you go back and see my project sheet. So I'm going to bring in these scraps, and I'm going to start stamping. Okay, so I have all my words here, all my stamping blocks all set up, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp individually on these little scraps. Let me say one other thing though. If you like this card and you think you're going to mass produce it or make a few of them, you can definitely take a larger scrap. You can take a larger block, and you can go ahead and put all of the words right on your block, stamp them all, and then you'll have a whole set of green, stamp it again, a whole set of blueberry, stamp it again, you'll have a whole set of the crushed curry, and then you can cut out all your pieces and then mix and match. Each one won't be the same, they'll all be different, but it's a real fast and easy way if you want to go ahead and make several of these cards. But for today, for the video, I am going to go ahead and just stamp them individually. I'm going to bring in my piercing mat and give me a better cushion for when I'm stamping. And I'm going to start off with, I picked up Poppy Parade, so that's going to be for the word Christmas. Granny Apple Green, I did that twice. I did the letter A, and then I also stamped to you and yours. I stamped Mary in Blueberry Bushel, and I stamped the words and bright in Crushed Curry. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut out each one of these, and I'm going to make sure that I leave a little bit of a white border on each side. Okay, so now we can start building our little tree, but I also took this little piece of crumb cake, and I took this little die right here, which is really the top of our Christmas light, and I cut out a piece of crumb cake, and then I also took the little star, and I cut that out of gold foil. So let me do that really quick so we can put our tree all together. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom with the trunk, and I'm going to attach the trunk with a glue dot rather than glue, because it has a little bit of lines in there and I don't want glue seeping through. So I'm just going to put that right at the bottom in the middle. And then I started putting the tree together, and you can zigzag it however you want. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the star up at the top with a glue dot also. The star is cute because it's a little crooked. It's got like a misshaped star, so it's really cute. So I got the tree trunk and the star, that way I can work in between. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue these pieces down. This piece, you have to be careful that you don't glue it all the way to the end, because it's longer than our little scallop piece. Okay, so there's our little tree. Now let's put the rest of our card together real quick here. So I'm going to bring this banner back in, and this banner is going to go right up to the edge of that Poppy Parade, and it's going to go right in the center. So I'm just going to flip it over here and just put glue on this part right here. I'm going to have this piece match the Designer Series paper. So I'm just looking at it to make sure it's not too long, and to me it's just a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim the straight edge just a little bit. And I'm going to glue it on just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and it's going to go right in the center. And I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals, but I only want dimensionals to go on that side. So I'm going to turn it over and bring in my dimensions and kind of center it. It's really easy to do with the scallop because the scallop has an even amount on each side. See, the dimensionals don't show. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some rhinestones, and I'm going to bring in a stamping blend, and I'm going to color in a couple. I'm going to color in 3. And then I'm going to place them here and there on our little Christmas tree. I usually don't do even numbers, but I'm going to do one more. Okay, so every Christmas tree is different. So on this one, I have 5 little rhinestones, and this one I just put 3. So it just depends on how your tree fits together and how the gaps are, however you want it to look. But there is today's card. Isn't that fun? Oh, what fun. What a cute little sentiment for the card, because it is a lot of fun, and I just love that designer series paper. So I hope you like today's fun fold. This is one of the Stamp and Craft kits that I am offering. Come back tomorrow and I have another pretty card. And don't be shy. Stamp and shout.